Good morning, folks. Welcome to Monday morning. So it's a nice Monday morning here in terms of weather. So it's pretty good here. It's a little humid, but it's good. So we'll do a quick recap of a larger time frame analysis, the weekly plan, and then sort of lay out a plan for the day itself as well. Okay, if you remember, two things we discussed on Friday, I think. One, Nifty, this being a consolidation zone. If you remember, June, July last year, this was a consolidation zone. This is daily charts of Nifty, by the way, and then we had a large volume consolidation here. So essentially market consolidated here, and then this breakout happened around March. I think we tested this low and we pulled back from here. We are again back to these lows. Okay, sort of back to back lows here, and we are trying to hold on at this point, closed most of the low point of the day. But from a risk reward point of view, we are potentially close to support until 1500, your 1500, 600, 650 levels are taken out convincingly. Okay, so that is where we are. So if you look at it, I think we again made a close towards the low of the Thursday's low, and then the Friday's low were very close to each other. So we are pretty much there in terms of the support, the range VPOC here being 780 levels. So 780 is exactly where we closed on Monday, roughly. So July VPOC was 780. So VPOC essentially means जहाँ पर सबसे ज़्यादा trading हुई थी during the entire month of June and July combined. Okay. So we'll quickly look at the weekly charts and then come to the daily charts. ये आपका weekly profiles है essentially, which is essentially the kind of movement the entire week had. If you see, we opened here and then we opened here and then sort of corrected all the way down. Key levels now on the weekly chart being, of course, this support zone is there, and then secondary 16,170 or 200 levels on the upside. These are the two key levels. So this week when we start, we watch out for two levels. One, last week's lows around 800, 750 and 16,200. I think this is the range to play this week. Okay, if we hold last week's range, then this is what we look for on the upside. This is the range to play for this week. 16, remember these levels, 15, roughly 750, 800, 16,200s. Okay, on Nifty, and and look for some consolidation within this range. Essentially pull back rotation, and some sort of a consolidation within these ranges itself. Okay, so from that regard, watch out how VIX plays out. If VIX cools off like US VIX did, then we might also see that sort of a cool back, cool off. Nifty, Bank Nifty also. This was again the March reference where a lot of trading happened, and then I think if you see the volume zone around being 33,000 levels. Okay, so we are close to that low. So my reference, I think Monday, Friday we mentioned 32,900. Until we hold below, we want to sort of might show some sort of pullback here. Essentially, the risk reward ratio now is a little skewed in terms of looking for some sort of minor pullback, if not a structural correction or a change itself. Okay, I don't think a structural change we can itself predict that at this point. Largely, we look for a bit of a pullback and consolidation if the lows of last week hold. Okay, here I think the ranges that we look for from a Nifty point of Bank Nifty point of view is roughly 34,400 on the upside. So your range for this week plays 34,400, 33,000 levels. Okay, large range. What we try to do is we see if we can hold into this and then look for a pullback. If we don't hold into this, then we are looking for a larger correction and break off this March lows as well. Okay, these are the key areas. From now we'll just look and how it might play out for today's session. So just have a quick check on that. So if you remember, we do track, global markets ki kya hua hai, and then basis that we are trying to plan out what can play. Yes, US markets, if you remember, Friday we spoke of two levels, 39.75 and 40.35. If you see, we took off from there, made a low pullback low 39.75.80, and then again, 40.35 is where we stopped. So there was a very nice play around these ranges, and I think we are still back into this range 39.80, 40.35 until we take this out. Expect US markets to be sort of showing some sort of a pullback here and holding around these ranges because we had a low here. Okay, so this is the key range for US markets for the coming session, again 39.75, 40.35. Okay, we will look to see if 39.75, 80 holds, because if that holds, generally market, it will sort of cool off other markets. US VIX did collapse significantly on Friday, so that way expected to be a bit of a range bound and lesser volatility in next one or two sessions. Let's see from here. Okay, now coming to our daily charts for Bank Nifty. Okay, we'll quickly also see what is the order flow view of Bank Nifty. If you see Nifty, first of all, sorry, Nifty, two major areas selling came in on Friday. One was this zone 30, 950, 960 regions in Nifty, and then down below at around 880 regions. Okay, so these are the two key areas and levels of references that we'll watch out for in the session in terms of Nifty. So basis that, if you see the profile in Nifty was a lot top heavy on Friday. So most of the profile was top heavy, which essentially meant a little bit of a higher value area formation in Nifty if you see that. So, basis that what we look for today is how do we react around your 880 levels. Okay, 880 levels is this zone, the top of this, there's a clear distinct two volume zones that has been formed. So how do we react around the 880 levels? Once we are able to hold, if you're not able to cross 880, I would look for a downside consolidation. I look for playing the lower ranges. If you're able to hold into 880, then probably a move to 16K levels is on, and above that 16,050, the higher side of the value zone. Okay, so these are the two key levels that we'll watch for: a 16,880, 870 region. Hold of that, look for 16,000 and 16,050. Failure to get into that, and look for a consolidation and test of yesterday's lows, Friday's lows. Okay, this is basis where the orders came in on Friday. Okay, Bank Nifty, if you see, a large part of that order was around 450 levels. This is where this big candle down move happened, a lot of delta, and and then there was a absorption on the pullback side where the buyers failed to take it up. So those buyers which were there at 450, they really failed to pull the market up. So we'll watch for 450 levels in Bank Nifty as a key level. Where markets scanned sort of bounce and hold off of. Okay, once 450 is once 450 is taken out, you would look for a bullish plays on the Bank Nifty 450 levels. You would look for a bullish play on the Bank Nifty to test potentially the VPOC level 33,800, or the lower side of this value zone, maybe, if it's not not that strong. So we'll essentially look to target this value zone in Bank Nifty if sort of we are holding 450, which is this. And then in case market opens flat and there is not much push, we would look for a 450 as a primary resistance for a roll down or consolidation in the lower range on the day. Okay, so that's how we'll want to play it today. So watch for 450 in Bank Nifty, watch for 850 ranges in Nifty. Okay, simple model: bullish above, bearish below. We stick to that sort of a plan, and I think that's all. And stay plugged in. We'll discuss more. Thank you guys. Have a good day and have a very good week ahead as well.